Hello and welcome. This is Self-Control, How to Build a Better Life, the podcast that will inspire you to take control of your mind and your mindset to go forward and build the life that you want to live, the life that you deserve to live if you're willing to put in that effort. And today I just want to share with you a thought that I recently had, and I want to let you be the judge of whether it's useful or not. It's something I keep in mind when I tell myself or when someone tells me, hey, that's going to be a lot of work. You know, quite often saying things like that, it's going to be a lot of work, or it's not worth your time, the juice ain't worth the squeeze. These are ways that we cope with the fact that we're procrastinating. We don't have a clear path forward. It is going to be a lot of work, for one thing. That doesn't mean it's not worth doing. These are ways that we sort of, make peace with the fact that we're afraid, or we're intimidated, or we question our ability to do the work. And it can also be a way that others try to hold us back from aspiring to something great or grand. You know, you want to start a business, you want to become a stand-up comedian, you want to go back to school. Well, that's going to be a lot of work. Well, yeah, it is. But I'm not saying that you should blindly work on something pointless, right? Or waste your time on things just to appear busy or to distract yourself, right? That's something like distraction or becoming a workaholic. But I'll tell you something, I woke up this morning and I felt pretty daunted. I felt intimidated because I knew I had to write and record and edit at least one, if not two podcast episodes. And so the feeling laying there in bed of knowing just how much effort I had to expend today, mental effort, and the labor that I was going to have to put in, the time that was going to be spent, it had me considering some excuses. But here's the thought I had, and I had to remind myself of it today. Think of how big the entire universe is. And then think, you want to have some kind of impact on that? That is going to be a lot of work. It is going to be a lot of work, isn't it? But in a sense, that's what's necessary. You know, you want to raise healthy, productive kids that you can be proud of. You want to build a thriving business that contributes to the community, for instance. I think it's worth thinking about the scope and the scale and the weight of what that actually is. You know, maybe in this hyper-connected world where we can instantly talk to someone, we can instantly create something, post it, and get feedback. We can see anything we want at any time immediately, at the touch of a button, the snap of our fingers. Maybe because of the way the world has gone in this sort of global digital way, we've become conditioned to think that everything should be easy, right? I can have anything, I can see anything, I can pretty much do anything, at least virtually, from the comfort of my bed. So in a way then now the world feels small. Billions of people can communicate instantly and gather in one place. It's virtual, but it feels the same. So we have to remember this gigantic, expanding universe. We want to make an impact on that. We might have been tricked into thinking it's easy, but in fact, it's the impact we want to have, even if it's just the size of one person, us, you, me, we still want to make that size of an impact on something infinite. So when it comes to your personal goals then, and let's not forget that the scope and depth of a human being, at least in my opinion, is as grand as the whole world. We are our own world, aren't we? We are as deep and filled with infinite potential as the universe if we're so willing to put the effort in to discover ourselves. And so, to make an impact then, we do need to expend a tremendous amount of effort. And we also have to be willing to expend that effort consistently without consistent reward or feedback. Right? You want to build a strong body. You're not going to do one workout and then look in the mirror or go out and wait for people to come running to admire you. Maybe you want to overcome addiction. That's huge. You want to rewire your nervous system, rewire your mind. One good day is a great start, but it's not a big enough impact to say I've overcome the addiction. You want to learn a new skill. Maybe you want to develop your existing skills as a writer, a speaker, a lover. The cosmos of the mind, the cosmos of the body are just as infinite. So I think to have any impact, to make any improvement or difference, we have to reckon with the fact with just how much effort and energy that takes. Like I was talking about in a previous episode, Sometimes we think, well, I can take the easy way out here and still get some form of result. But think about that. Think about the disservice you're doing to your potential. You're not activating your full potential when you're not willing to put in as much work as you can muster in the moment. And again, it's not blind, flat out work until you die, but it's knowing what you can bring in the given moment is likely more than what you've chosen to bring. And if that's not the case, if you're giving it your all, this doesn't necessarily apply, but you can always remember, hey, as hard as I'm working right now, I'm putting a dent in the universe. So this may also frighten us into not doing anything, right? We can say, well, I'm going to make a difference in the universe. I'm going to make a difference in my infinite self. Maybe I can't. Maybe I'm just resigned to being what I am right now. But what I would say to that is that when it comes to self-work and when it comes to personal projects, so much of the effort that we put in, all of it really, it compounds. It adds up. Every little bit adds up. So there's no sense in not starting, and there's no sense in crucifying yourself for a less impactful day, but know that all of this effort over time is making a dent in who I want to be and the impact I can have on the world at large. It all adds up. And of course, you can only do what you can do today. And I think if we're lucky, we get a life's worth of days to put toward a better life for ourselves and others. So take this home. Let me know if it makes any sense at all. Let me know if it's useful to you. Let's not get fooled into thinking that this life is easy. Now, let's also not fool ourselves into thinking it's not worth starting. We have within us the potential to make a difference, to explore ourselves fully, to make an impact in the lives of those around us, if we're willing to say, hey, that's going to be a hell of a lot of work, but I have it in me. So, all right. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Please get in touch. Drop a comment on YouTube. Subscribe over on YouTube. I would really appreciate a review on Apple Podcasts if you have the time. Drop a question in the Q&A on Spotify. Give me a shout through Facebook. Really hoping to build a community as we go forward and get into the second year of this podcast. And until we meet again, please remember that better is possible.